If you've played the game 2048 on mobile, you've played a lot of what makes Bone Marrow its own game, because this is 2048 the RPG. I picked this up on cross-buy for PS4, PS5, deep on sale on the PlayStation Network, and I would only really recommend this game on a sale because whilst it's 2048 the RPG, and I really like the idea behind that, it's a little bit wonky on the way how it does it. And it's really easy, and it's really easy to cheat on, and it's really difficult to not cheat and cheese the game once you discover how it works. In 2048, it's not just about merging together 2 blocks of 1 to make 1 block of 2, for example, and then 2 blocks of 2 to make a block of 4, all the way up to 2048. You've also got 3 different types of blocks. So you've got food for HP, shield for batting away damage before it attacks your HP, and then attack damage with swords. So you can't merge a 2 shield and a 2 sword together. You have to have 2 shields and 2 swords of the same number to combine them to then level them up. I hope that kind of makes sense. It makes more sense when you see it rather than me explaining it in words, I feel. Anyway, it's not just those that are on the board. You're on the board too, and as you move around, you kind of walk into the things that you're collecting, and that will beef up your stats, be it food for HP, shield for like preventative damage, and swords for your next attack. You've also got enemies on the board too, and this rolls into a day and night cycle. During the day, you've got really like rubbish things like rats and snakes, and they just have 1 HP. So as you walk into them, they're pretty much insta-kill and death. And they will hurt you back again because it's kind of a mutual damage attack. So that's why you've got to beef up your health as you wander around the board. But when you then hit the night cycle, bigger, beefier bosses usually come out for you to try and attack. And you've still got to go around and kind of collect things. But instead of the day cycle where enemies are stagnant and still, at night time, the enemies move around too. This started off, when I first played this, as like an quirky, because they're picking up things that you might not want them to. But as soon as you get them into a corner, every single level is pretty much an instant win, because you then just spank them and spank them and spank them, go back, collect what's behind you, come back and spank them again until they die. And because the day cycle allows you to play it in a way that means that you beef up your character to its full potential, it then means that you come in slightly overpowered to the boss battles, and it makes it a bit of a cakewalk. Once I discovered that you could play Bone Marrow this way, it was really difficult to then untrain my brain to not play it in this way, and so all tactics went out the window, and the tactics felt very woolly anyway, because you're never quite sure of what you're going to get because of the RNG factor of 2048. So yeah, this is an odd one. I don't necessarily recommend it at full price. I think it's a really unique and like it's a good twist on the formula, but it just needed more tactics and some kind of like expertise in the way how everything falls out, because it's too random, it's too easy to cheese, and so it just ends up being a really vapid experience when you play it like that. Written review will be over on highplayinggames.com, but if you're after 2 cheap and easy platinums that can be completed in around an hour, just over, Bone Marrow could well be up your street.